Alright, so for those gamma addicts out there, here is the Chinese-made fairings that I bought off the internet. And we are today going to have a little bit closer look at them. They are fairly decent, I would say, at least for the price. But there's no such thing as a free lunch, obviously, so there are a few things that I will point out that either needs to be modified or yeah, you have to do something about that. So without further ado, the tank is basically a shell that you put on the tank. I just put on very quickly one of my spare tanks, so it's the original one underneath, and then it's the top one is the actual fairing from the Chinese guys. And you see it kind of fits pretty decently along the contour here. It's actually not going all the way to the metal, so here is actually a little bit of flex. I would assume that you would probably glue it in place eventually, or that's at least my plan. Since I have a few spare tanks, and this tank in particular is kind of shitty underneath there, I just plan to glue it in place with something. Also, one of the things that are a little bit annoying, or let's say not going to look very nice, is this area around the fuel cap here. So I'm probably going to put up some RTV silicone or something like that in blue color, and then yeah, hopefully it will look kind of decent at least. And I also don't want to have any fuel coming underneath the shell and then behind the plastic itself. But again, overall it's fairly okay. Yeah, kind of look decent. Over here is of course the fuel vent, which needs to be put in place, but yeah, apart from that. So I would say I'm a little bit surprised. This was one of my major concerns, this tank cover thing, but it actually looks kind of decent. And if it does not, then I will just fix up one of my tanks. Of course, there's the color may not fit perfectly, so I would prefer to use this one. Another thing that I'm a little bit, let's say, not concerned about, but which is a little bit different, is the side fairings. On the top side here, there are no built-in threads as there are in the standard item or the Suzuki original parts. So, and I'm also a little bit concerned about this, let's say, a little bit flimsy piece of material here. So I'll probably go for making a strip of metal behind here, and put on some nuts, weld some nuts to that film of material, and then glue it in place using a very strong plastic glue. Also, you may notice that there are no inner fairings or inner cowling for the to redirect the air to the radiator. So that is actually missing. So if you would want that, which I don't know if I'm going to go with that, you have to do some bosses here or something to actually mount that stuff on there. Yeah, on the lower side, these holes are a little bit as, yeah, kind of as the original parts actually. I don't expect to have to reinforce them in any way. Same goes for the other side fairings as well. These ones are also kind of okay, I would say. The critical parts, apart from the overall fitting, which for obvious reasons I'm not gonna do today, is of course how these things look like. And yeah, I'm not sure if this focus very good on this, but anyway. These parts, or these mounting gadgets, are, yeah, probably okay if they don't break off, which I simply do not know yet. They're probably going to be fine. This part, which of course goes into the rubber hole thing in the frame, looks acceptable and okay. I'm probably gonna modify this anyway because I don't like all of these plastic chunks here. So I may go for this let's say, either I can cut them like I used to do, which is basically along this contour here, or alternatively I'll do this one going down here as some other people have done. I'm not too let's say picky about the original looks, so I intend to just modify whatever pleases me basically. So the lower fairing, also here, nice overall finish as with most parts. I have only discovered 2 places where the color has run a little bit. So in general they are quite okay in terms of this let's say glossy finish. Obviously the glossy finish may sell very well on the internet, but what is more concerning is of course how the mounting and the fitting and how that looks like. Here is a little bit different, at least as far as I remember. I actually damaged my original fairing quite significantly before, so. But as far as I remember, here the original actually had 2 holes here and some kind of metal bracket here, which these have not. These have these plastic parts, and they are not so flimsy, and overall these parts are actually, I don't get a feeling that they are brittle. I don't get the feeling that they will be flimsy or you know, not being able to withstand you know, normal wind from speed. So yeah, anyway, so they also look kind of okay. Maybe for the lower part here, again you have the holes here for the mounting, and on the other side you also have these. Obviously it's gonna be really kind of a pain in the ass to let's say, in some cases at least, to have the nuts and washers going on the inside if you want to disassemble it while on the bike or whatever you want to do. So not sure if I'm gonna try to make some metal strips in behind, glue that in place with some nuts already in place, so that you know, mounting and dismounting will be easier. Moving on to these bits, this is an extra part. You have to pay, I think, $30 more to get this. Well worth the money, I would say. I have one of these, of course, since before, even though, yeah, well, it did not get damaged so much during the crash, so it's, I have one, but yeah, you want to have the same color and stuff, so I just ordered it. It doesn't cost all that much either. The front fender, or the front fender. Here is one of the items which have a small run. I can see if I can just show it to you. Yeah, okay, well, it's actually behind, I don't know if you see it all that well, but it's actually behind the yeah, here you go. There it is. I don't know. Okay, well, there is some metal run on this, or some paint running on this one, but it's actually behind the front fork anyway, and it's also, I'm fairly certain I will not use this piece actually, because I have a different set of forks, as you will see later on. Included in the single seater is also this piece, which is kind of neat actually. I was a little bit surprised. Didn't say on the description that this would be included, so I'm a little bit happy about that. The end fairing is, yeah, the end fairing is kind of okay as well. Getting tired saying this all the time, but yeah. There are some parts where I would be, yeah, I don't know. We will see, but they are not overly dimensioned or whatever you want to call it. So these parts, for example, if you look at here, it's not flimsy. It actually does not break if you handle it a little bit, but they are maybe a little bit potentially they can break off, of course. It's a bit difficult to get a good overview of this one, but so but in general it's kind of okay. Of course, if you go very, very close, and this is what I hope to try to show here, is a little bit, you have these, let's say, you can see that this surface is not completely even. You may want to take a Dremel or something to just, put some extra effort into making this very, very good looking. These mounting holes, again, it's not brittle, it's fairly tough, and yeah, maybe some reinforcements necessary in some places, but I'm not sure. So I'll go over it again a little bit with the camera just for the overview, but I will also show you, I put on the top fairing on the motorcycle already, so I will show you a little bit about that in the following movie or clip. And of course, I have not mounted all of these parts. I don't know how they fit yet. I have not seen whether or not they are resistant to sunlight, if their coloring is gonna go bad or something like that. I don't know. But I would say so far so good. Right, so I'm just gonna take a little bit more overview of the parts here. Yeah, it's not maybe so much new. I already went through all this stuff, but yeah. You also I think that the original parts have a metal piece on this part here. And yeah, since I'm anyway probably gonna cut that away, I'm not sensitive to that. Yeah, that's it. So next clip will be from my garage, where I mounted the top fairing, and we can have a look at that.